there may be some behind-the-scenes incentive to say good things in order to, I don't know, keep your relationship with the company and keep getting pre-release devices so your coverage can be early, in order to keep, I don't know. That's like the general accusation is you're not getting paid, but it feels like you're being swayed in a sort of biased way that could allow you to say you're not getting paid, but you're still being biased. Does that make sense?
I think that's Reddit's favorite argument on almost every thread.
Here's my response to that is this could be very, very early in my YouTube career considered a tempting thought, where it was like the first stuff I was ever getting to review, I was like, whoa, I just got sent a keyboard to review. I better say something nice about this keyboard so that this keyboard company keeps sending more keyboards. Like that could be a thought when this is brand new to you, you've never done, and this is like a watershed moment.
Right.
But year 9, 10, 11, whatever this is for us, it's like, if I don't get a product to review, I'm going to buy it and it'll be later and that's fine. But this isn't a defining feature of a review anymore that it was provided or that I bought it. It's just something that happens to be a part of the job at this point.
Yeah, this is more broadly, this is debated in real media, forgive me, but broader media all the time. It's this debate about access journalism. I think the most often I see it talked about is when, the White House, if you're in the White House press pool and you annoy the president enough, theoretically, the White House can deny you access, and boy, that's going to be a big hit for your traffic. So, how much do you want to annoy the president, whoever the president may be? These are issues that I think will not get solved anytime soon, because there is legit pressure there not to lose access, right? But to your point, Marquez, I also will go buy it later because I probably don't have time to cover stuff in the first wave most of the time anyway. But B, even in a situation where I've had to say, you know what, this isn't a great product, and I am nervous because I'm new, because it's 2011, and say, company H just made a phone that's pretty crappy, and they flew me halfway across the world to see it for a week, and now I have to tell people they shouldn't buy it. Oh, well, I'm nervous, but I'll say it anyway. I have never personally been denied access as a result of being honest, and I've never known anyone who has been shut out, with I think one exception. There's one publication who just repeatedly just went after a manufacturer for probably 2 years, and I think everybody has their breaking point. But it's it's not. Everyone seems to think it happens all the time, and I am struggling to remember a single occasion of it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is the easiest or best way, I guess, for me to share that isn't the case is to give all the examples of really glaringly negative reviews I've given products that were followed up by the company sending their next product check this out, it's better than the last one. You saw how much you hated the first one, so this is a better one.
Right.
That's you could look at HTC phones, you could look at the Chromebook Pixel, This Ain't It Chief. I'm remembering titles at this point. This Ain't It Chief.
Microsoft, that Lumia 950 probably got bludgeoned by you like it did by me. I think my tagline with that was just nope.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and these things happen, but at the end of the day, if you work at that company and you're hearing this truth about your product that's wrong, because I can understand if someone's giving you unfair criticism or is got a faulty unit and is just hammering in that this is normal for their product, something over the top where it's not really true. But if you work for this company and you're hearing this review and you're like, well, that is true, we did put a small battery in it. Oh, that is true, we did put a Celeron in a laptop. Oh, that is true. All these things that he's saying that make it not a great buy, they're all true. There would be no reason for that company to suddenly cut you off or change their relationship with you. In fact, it's sort of, if I was working there, it would be sort of motivation to make the next one better. Send the early unit to that guy. He hated the first one. Right. Send this new one to him. See how much better it is.
Let's see if we can redeem ourselves here, assuming, again, like you say, you think the criticism's fair. And that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So you mentioned something earlier, getting flown out to an event or to a company's headquarters to see something. This is something interesting to me because, again, I did not actually know until last year that was a thing until I got accused of it.
Wait, what? I saw this in the notes. What happened?
I've never actually been flown to a company's anything ever for any reason? Hotel, plane, whatever. And, someone was saying, like, yeah, Marquez, you have such a great relationship with these companies, but they fly you out to their events and put you in nice hotels. And I'm thinking, that's the number one thing I spend money on is flights and hotels for my team. What are you talking about?
You didn't know that it was common in press circles for that to happen?
Until last year, I thought everyone was paying for everything and didn't realize that was a thing. Now, not to say that it's wrong to get paid to fly out to things. You need to go to their headquarters to see a private product. Right. Then, by all means, go do it. But would this ever, for example, change Mr. Mobile's opinion of a product?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'll just come out and say I really admire that. I had no idea that was the case, A, and B, that you didn't know that it was kind of, over the past few years, it's sort of become standard. It's become accepted practice among the circles I travel in. And as I say in my ethics file, that's one of those things. I'm like, listen, if a company is holding a launch event in another country and they're flying media to do it, we are not in a position as the Mr. Mobile division of Future PLC to be like, no, we're going to buy our own flights and we're going to put ourselves up because, look, we had a defined amount of time to make money. And travel and lodging, ever since I started in this business, it's just been one of those things. I'm like, you can fly me to wherever and you can put me up wherever you want. It is not going to affect my editorial coverage at all. And I was nervous, dude. I said that. Coming on the show, I was like, man, I need to go back. I need to make sure because you got to check in with yourself every so often. Am I being, swayed by the breakfast caviar at company M's event? I don't need my caviar. But yeah, you go back and look at, say, my LG G7 review, I think, is the one I was watching right before I came on. I'm like, wow, yeah, that was a great trip to South Korea so we could tour the production lines, ask the engineers how they built the stuff. It was a lot of fun. At the end of the day, I said, this is a pretty boring phone, and most people should probably spend their money better elsewhere. But, there's nothing wrong with checking in every so often. I think everyone should keep themselves honest, but that is just not one of the lines we could have afforded to draw ourselves. Now, my question, are you going to change that, or are you going to keep it the way it is, your travel and expense policy?
Yeah, man, I think I'm honestly probably going to keep it the way it is just because it's so built into what we do. Yeah. It's like, and we also have like such a streamlined thing. I think I've had, now that I look back, and I realize that it's common, I look back and I'm like, oh yes, I did see that this company here did offer to, put us on these flights, and I said, no, it's fine, I already booked our flights, and they're going to get there, like, an hour before our interview, like things like, we have this process all sort of, nailed down, and it's something I've accepted as a top 3 expense for us, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to be clear, and I want to move on, but for the record, I'm not being glib about this. I think it is something people should ask about. People have a right to wonder whether your coverage is being impacted by things like a fancy hotel, or whether what class of travel you're being flown in, or whether you're being flown at all, or whether the company takes you on a trip to test out the phone's camera with a fun speedboat ride, which has happened. You know what I mean? Like, I think on the surface, it's pretty obvious that the PR companies who plan this
they're smart.
Oh yeah, they want very much the positive sentiment associated with that. They want, this was a fun trip to equal in our brains, this is a fun product and we should recommend it. Or at least we should be guilted into not saying bad things about it. But as long as I think we as in the pseudo-journalists that we are, maintain an adequate filter and police ourselves adequately, and each other, then I think we're okay. And I think if anyone in my audience wants to say not watch my stuff anymore because of that, that's just like a breaking point for them, I think that's awesome. Because really, like, as an audience member, you have to make your own decisions. You have to decide who you trust and why. And, we're all going to draw that line a little differently.
Yeah, and like you say, the companies in charge of this they're smart, and they'll have, I think now looking back at like some of the trips I've seen, it makes perfect sense. Not only that they're trying to make their product look fun, but the trip's fun. You think everything's great, right? Everything's beautiful. I think it comes down to being in the shoes of the viewer. where, you put yourself in the reviewer's shoes, and it seems very different. If you're in our positioning, you've been doing this for a while, it's standard practice. I mean, you put yourself in the shoes of the reviewer, or the viewer, sorry, and they go, well, if I was flown here and got to stay here and got the product early, I would have said nice things. That's what I think the pressure looks like to someone who is either early or new to it or who's never done it. So I think keeping that perspective is important.
And that same pressure applies to products too. I think we'll probably talk about it too, but the other most often thing I see in the comments is, well, you guys are just getting free products, so you'll say anything. I'm like, guys, if a truck didn't show up at my door tomorrow with more work for me, I would be happy. It's the job.
You're lucky the truck's showing up to your door. Or didn't you just tweet about having to chase someone down?
Yeah, I sure did.
That's my favorite. Like, we're sitting at 10 a.m. waiting for this by 10 a.m. delivery for this. The whole day's planned out around it. And then just sit and
delivery exception.
Yeah.
Customer not available or disposed. Yes.
I swear to you, that's it's a real thing. Well, they will drive right past your building. Like, yeah, I tried.
Yep.
I tried to deliver.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
I promise.
I know
I
it.
promise it's real. Actually, at the moment, FedEx. I'm going to start ranting, but I've had this recently. Products wrapped up around like a single day of scheduling around it. The FedEx near me. Well, not only now, they stop at the door, they don't even try to deliver at this building anymore, so that's already pretty rough.
To it.
And this is, for some reason, FedEx Express specifically, so I'm getting really in the weeds. But they'll hold the package, and then I'll go there with my ID, and they'll say, well, this ID doesn't have the business address on it.
Oh,
it has your name. And the package is addressed to you, and this is your name, but we can't give this to you because it doesn't have the business address. Do you have like a piece of mail to you here? And of course I just moved studios, so no, I have no mail for the studio yet. So there's about 5 products sitting at that FedEx that I haven't been able to pick up because I don't have any mail.
Do you ever just feel the impulse to be like you have a computer right there, it's part of your cash register, right? Just put in my YouTube name, and then you can say,
I really want to. I mean, this is also like a FedEx with like 7 people in line waiting out the door, and I don't want to. Like, I have my business card there, and it says MKBHD, and the package label says MKBHD, but they're like, that's not your name. It's a whole thing.
There was one time we sort of pulled that off, and it was when Brandon forgot to register for CES, and we didn't find out till we were on the plane going to Las Vegas. So I walked in with him, talked to the guy, and I was like, if there's anywhere I can pull up Marquez's name and show him and show some business cards with him, and sure enough, as we're doing it, some people from a company come over and they're like, you guys work for Marquez? And the guy was like, okay.
okay, you're in.
Good luck.
Lifts up the velvet rope, stands aside. Yes, come right in, sir.
Super lucky. All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about those review devices and the horror story I mentioned earlier. Be right back. This episode of Waveform is brought to you by Blue Box. Screens. I've used a lot of different types of screens in tech: 1080, 4K, OLED, LCD, 60 Hz, 90 Hz, 120 Hz. But you know what they all have in common? Is they all produce blue light, which has negative effects on our body. So during the day, this blue light damages our eyes and leads to digital eye strain. Symptoms of digital eye strain are blurred vision, headache, dry and watery eyes. This not only damages our health, but also experience and enjoyment of tech. And this tech, after dark, is still emitting the same damaging blue light during the day. However, after dark, it also tricks our brain into thinking it's still daytime and not to sleep yet. Blue Blocks was created to fix these problems and block out the blue light with high-quality lenses, so unlike other types of blue light glasses, Blue Blocks are evidence-backed and made under optics laboratory conditions in Australia. The founders were unhappy with the quality and lack of science behind leading blue light blocking glasses brands, so Blue Blocks was created to change this with high-quality lenses for daytime, nighttime, and for color therapy exactly in line with suggested peer-reviewed academic literature. I actually snagged a pair of the Parker style because the thin frame can easily fit under my headphones without being pushed against the side of my head. So thanks to Blue Blocks, I can now continue to stare at my screen editing all day while improving my sleep quality at night, allowing me to wake up fresh and ready to continue another day of, staring at more screens all day. Get your energy back, sleep better, and block out the unhealthy effects of blue light with Blue Blocks. Get free shipping worldwide and 15% off by going to blueblocks.com/waveform or enter code waveform at checkout. That's BLUBLOX.com/waveform for 15% off, or just use the code waveform. This episode of Waveform is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Smartphones today do their best to have as many features as possible, and sometimes those features can feel kind of unnecessary. Like we've discussed how phones are getting expensive, but with the additional features like motion gestures, heart rate monitors, or my personal favorite, the 2-megapixel macro camera, you're paying for gimmicks that you don't necessarily need or want. What if I told you carrier services are doing something similar? We live in 2020, so do we really still need expensive retail stores? Mint Mobile provides the same premium network coverage you're used to, but at a fraction of the cost because everything is online. So Mint Mobile saves on retail locations and overhead, and then passes those savings directly onto you. Mint Mobile makes it easy to cut your wireless bill down to just $15 a month, and every plan comes with unlimited nationwide talk and text. With Mint Mobile, stop paying for unlimited data you'll never use. Choose between plans with 3, 8, or 12 gigs of 4G LTE data. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan to keep the same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ditch your old wireless bill and start saving with Mint Mobile. And best of all, don't worry about changing out of your pajamas to shop at Mint, because it's all online. Now this is the future. Get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free. Go to mintmobile.com/waveform. That's mintmobile.com/waveform. Cut your wireless bill down to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/waveform. Okay, welcome back. So, Michael Fisher, I want to ask you about review devices. This might be the number one question I get from friends. You know how stuff like sometimes trickles out into the outside of tech friend world where they're like, that was a cool product, or that's a question I have about your job. I think the number one thing is, hey, what do you do with all that stuff? What is your go-to answer for, hey, what do you do with all that?
So we were just talking about how I'm in a sound booth a little while ago, and the top of this sound booth is covered in retail boxes. About half empty, half full, because half of them are still in the rotation being used, tested, compared. On the other side of this wall is a whole room full of them. I share a studio with 4 other great guys, and we all have the same YouTube problem. I'm just, I feel like we could just cover the floor of them and just basically fill the entire space until we could stoop over and we'd have to hit our head on the ceiling. It stays around, is my answer. I think, are you in the same situation? Because there's a lot that goes into this. I want to make sure that we're in the same spot.
Yeah, there's a weird collection. You might walk into the studio and not be sure what's going on, but you'd be like, whoever works here has this weird box collecting habit and this gadget collection habit. But yeah, I think it's a healthy mix, and the stuff that stays here is like stuff that's arrived, stuff that I've bought, and I'm just